Hi everyone, I'm Mira Raven and welcome to Magifest 5D. I am here to bring you to your highest timeline. Welcome to 2026. This is my first video of the year. Super excited. As you can see, I've got a new plant. That's a new addition to the family. I really love this palm. I feel like it just kind of, I don't know, it just adds a little bit more green space to my nice little corner over here. So I was cooking some food and I was like, oh my gosh, I know exactly what I'm going to talk about today. So I'm sorry that I have been a little bit not as consistent the last couple of weeks with the holidays and everything. It was just there was a lot going on, and also with my phone I was having some issues with my phone because I have like, I don't know, 50 or 68 gigabytes of system data on my phone from, I don't know anything about tech, but I had all this stuff on my phone and I needed to clear it. So I had to go to the Apple store and clear it. So now we're good. So now I can make videos, because it was literally, I'd make a video and I'd have to put it on Google Drive because I didn't have space on my phone. So listen, your girl was struggling over here. I was struggling. But that's all beside the point. I want to get into today's topic. So, what I was thinking about was, for me personally, I'm into numerology and astrology and all that. And so for me, this year is a year 7. So it's not, supposedly for me, it's not about hustling and grinding. It's about being in alignment for me this year, which is really exciting because I feel like with it being a spiritual year for me, I feel like the type of content that I'm going to present is also going to be very spiritual. And I'm already a very spiritual person. So I just think like I'm going to get some of the best content I've ever made, hopefully, this year. And the benefit for you is you get to watch it. You get to share in this wonderful spiritual journey with me. And hopefully the things that I'm learning, you can learn alongside with me, and we can learn together as one big happy community here at Magifest 5D. So I'm looking forward to it. Welcome. So what I was thinking about was how sometimes when you are somebody who is a go-getter, when you are ambitious, when you are all about productivity and you're a hard worker, which I am all of those things. I am a very hard worker. And I realized this year that this is not the year. This is not the year to keep working harder and harder and harder and harder. This is the year for me to sit down. Yes, I'm still gonna work because that's what I do. I'm not gonna literally sit and do nothing. But it's like, for me, it's all about intentionality. So what I want to focus on in today's video is learning how to actually sit back and receive and realize the work that you've done. Because, like, imagine, okay? Imagine that, like, you're digging a hole to China. Not literally, but, like, imagine you're, like, digging a big, I can't believe I said that. Imagine you're digging a big hole, right? And you're trying to dig this hole, like, pretty deep, right? And you just get in the zone, man. You're digging the hole, and after a while, the hole's really, really deep. But you're just so in it that you don't even realize how deep the hole is. You don't even realize how far you've come, how much you've gotten done. And when you actually go down in the hole, you're like, oh my gosh, this is a hole. I've gotten very deep. This is like, I'm pretty much there. I just, let me go get some lemonade or something, and then I finish this. But part of you, because you're so close, you want to be like, come on, let's just push it. Maybe you're thirsty, but you're like, come on, let's just push. Come on, let's go. Let's get it done. I don't know if anybody can relate to this, but I'm very much like that. I'll be so close, and I'm just like, no, I just want to get it done. Like, no, I just can't. I can't. My stomach will be grumbling. I'm a musician, so, like, I'll be in the studio. It'll be, like, the 12th hour, and I'm like, oh, man, I'm hungry, I'm tired, my head hurts, but I'm like, no, push through. But the thing is, it's like, and sometimes you do have to do that. And like, you'll know when. But also, it's totally okay to just be like, you know what? I'm hungry. I'm going to go eat and finish this afterwards. Or, you know what? Let me just like sit for a minute and look at what I've done so far. So with music, for me, sometimes what that will entail is I'll be working on something. I'll go really, really deep. I'll get in the flow state. I'll be working on it for like 6 hours. Then I get hungry. Then I'm like, you know what? Let me just like stop for a second and listen to what I've created so far. Because otherwise, if I don't, I get in my head. I'm like doing stuff. I'm like, no, I don't like that. No, that sounds too weird. That sounds too. And it happens when I'm mixing music too. When I'm mixing music and I'm like messing around with stuff. And then I'm like, listen to it. And I'm like, no, that's too loud. That's no. And I start making all these changes. And then I'll be like, okay, let me like stop and listen. And then I'm like, ugh, no, I don't like any of that. And then I'll go back to what before I did anything, before I made all these crazy changes. And usually that's the version that I like the most. So I say all that to say that sometimes we can like push ourselves so hard, so fast without stopping. And then what happens is like we end up making decisions and making choices and doing things that were not necessary, that kind of divert us from our path and where we want to go. And kind of to also, you know, talk about this same thing, but like a slightly different angle of this is also when you stop and take a break and you stop and let yourself process the work you've done. And the most important part, not just process, but receive. Like, I want to make a really clear point about processing and receiving. Let's do one at a time because my brain likes to just go into multi dimensions. But let's start with one at a time. Processing first, right? So when you take the time to just stop and relax and take in, like what can happen is you're doing things, going back to the digging the hole. You're digging the hole. You're not really paying attention because you're totally in it, right? But then when you stop and process, you actually stop and analyze. Wow, this hole started out 1 foot deep. This hole is now 10 feet deep. But because you were just in the moment, you didn't even realize how deep it was until you stopped and said, oh, let me measure this. Oh, wow, it's 10 feet deep. But until you stop and make that assessment, you don't actually really know how deep the hole is and how much work you've done. And then once you realize it's 10 feet deep and you've taken time to realize that, then you can go, wow, that's deep. I've done some serious work. But it's like our brains need to process that information before we can come to that conclusion and feel like we've got it done. But what happens with so many of us is we're just in the zone. We're working. We're in stress mode. We're in survival mode. And we never get a chance to stop and like pay attention and realize and process the work that we've done and be able to appreciate ourselves for the work that we've done. So even with like parents, right, with their kids, they're just thinking about safety, right? Is my kid okay? Is my kid doing well in school? Is my kid behaving, right? Like your brain is just focusing on making sure that your kid is not getting in trouble and they're safe and they have what they need and they're thriving. But at the same time, before you know it, your kid is an adult and you're like, wow, look at what I've created. Look at what I nourished. And so many, I think mothers are really guilty of this, right? It's like, because they're not getting, and you know how kids are. It's like, it takes like until they're 30. I know, because I'm a kid. I'm somebody's kid, right? It takes until you're like 30, sometimes in your late 30s, mid 30s, late 20s, before you really start to appreciate your parents and you thank them and you really show them how grateful you are. So because the gratification from the kids is sort of delayed, I think mothers, right, can be doing all this work. They don't realize, and they're underappreciated. Shout out to the moms. If you're a mom and you're watching this, my heart goes out to you. You're doing a good job. Please take time. If you're a mom, even if you're not a mom, even if you're just like a career step in person and you're going out there and going after your goals, same thing. It's the same thing. Whatever you're doing in life, take time. And this isn't just for women, it's for men too. There's a lot of hardworking men out there that do not sit down and realize what work you have done. So no matter what kind of work you do, no matter if you're single or married or have kids or don't have kids, or you're an artist or you're an accountant, I just want you to take a moment right now and think about what you've created, what you've done, because you've done a lot. You've done a lot of work. You've done a lot of work. And a lot of times we do not give ourselves credit for the work that we've done. And not only that, we do not sit the F down so that the universe can give us the blessings that are due to us because of the work we've done. The universe has to catch up with the work that you're doing. So many of you are like, no, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, like, right? And the reality is, the universe is like sitting there trying to give you something, right? So imagine the universe is, maybe let's put the universe in the position of like a mom or something. And you're like, hey, honey, I made you breakfast. And then the kid is like, we've seen this before with kids, right? Like their energy is just all over the place. They're chaotic. Like, look, I have fresh breakfast that I made. I even freshly churned the butter for you. It came from the farm, right? Farm fresh eggs. The best meal ever is in front of you. And, as a kid, you're like, so many things are happening. You're like, well, I got to do this. I got to look at my iPad. I got to look at my book. Oh, look outside. Oh, look, a squirrel. All these things. And you're just crazy, right? Chaotic. And you can't even realize that your mom just made you the best breakfast ever. And she's trying to give it to you. But you're too, like, frantic. And you're too caught up in whatever you're doing. You're too caught up in Roblox. For my alpha kids. You're too caught up in Roblox. You're too busy playing outside for my 90s kids. My millennials. You're too busy with your imaginary friends and your imaginary, scene that you've got, your hospital, your house, whatever it is. And your mom's literally trying to show you, like, hey, listen, I've got nourishment for you right here. And then when you finally calm the F down, you realize and you go, oh yeah, my mom made my breakfast. Cool. Okay, I'm good. Right? And that's the same thing with us. We're the kids, right? And the universe is the mom. The universe wants to give you something beautiful. But you need to sit down. Sit down and let the universe give you a freshly cooked breakfast. Will you? Will you? If you're running around frantically like a chicken with its head cut off, how are you going to be able to enjoy that breakfast? The breakfast is going to get cold, okay? It's going to go bad. You can't miss breakfast. It's the most important meal of the day, right? So I'm sure you can catch my drift here. Sometimes we miss our blessings because we think that we got to do everything. And the reality is, we don't have to do everything. We just have to do the right things at the right time. There's a difference. It's not about working hard. It's about working smart. It's about making sure you're doing exactly what you need to be doing. No more, no less. It's not about sitting on your butt all day doing nothing, unless that's what you need to do at that time. Because there are times where you do need to sit on your butt and do nothing. And there are times where you need to get up and get some stuff done. Right? And that's what alignment's all about. So that's like what was running through me today. That's what was running through me today. And I was like, I know exactly what to share with you guys. Because for me, I feel like I've always got spiritual stuff running through me all the time. And I give myself little pep talks. And really what I want to do with Manifest 5D is like, let you see into my pep talks, right? Like, how do I pep talk myself? And I think because of these pep talks that I've given myself, these pep talks have helped me accomplish so much and are helping me every day, like, go after my goals and get things done. And not only be productive, but like be healing and stay balanced and stay in alignment. And I found that the more that I work with the universe, instead of like try to do everything myself and try to put all this pressure on myself, the more that I like dance with the universe, because it is a dance with the divine. It is totally a dance with the divine. And when you learn how to dance with the divine, you know when to go forward, you know when to go back, you know when to relax, you know when to hustle. Not even hustle, but like take action, right? And I've felt that, you know? I mean, I could go into a whole story about it, and maybe I'll make another video and talk to you guys about like a personal story, example of how I did this. If you'd like me to do that, if you would like to hear more of a personal account of my experience, let me know in the comments. I try not to get too personal. I try to kind of, you know, just be inspiring. But if you guys want to hear something more specific and more personal that I share, then let me know, okay? But I want to share with you something super exciting. I have a 8-week cohort program. This is my first cohort program. I am launching it this year. I was going to launch it at the beginning of January, but I think I'm going to start it. I think I'm going to like maybe start it in March. Just because I want to give some more time for people to learn about me, get to know me. I want to put some more videos out for you guys so you guys can kind of get to know me a little bit more and see if you want to work with me. So I am going to be providing 5 free spots to the first 5 people who sign up for my cohort program. So I'm really excited for this program. After those first 5 spots are filled though, it will be half price. And then after 5 more spots of half price are filled, then the rest will be full price. But even the full price is actually pretty affordable for what you're getting. But I understand this is my first program, so I want people to, you know, really be able to give me feedback, and like I want to make sure that everybody that goes through this program gets what they're looking for. And because it's brand new, I understand it's hard to invest in something that you have never done before and it's totally new. So that's why I'm totally happy to offer 5 free spots to the first 5 people, and then 5 half off spots, and then the rest would be fully paid. So I'm telling you, it's completely free. Like, I'm not out here, like, I know there's a lot of people out here, listen, I know there's a lot of people out here that are just like, you know, I don't have to explain it. You know what a lot of people are out here are like. I'm not one of them. I honestly do just like want to help people and inspire people, and I'm super passionate about it, and I'm super excited about it. So if that resonates with you, if this video resonates with you, if my style, if my energy resonates with you, and you want somebody in your corner to cheerlead you through your path in life and help you find your authentic self, then I'm going to need you to sign up for a free discovery call with me at the link in my description. If you have any questions, I do have an Instagram channel called MatchFest5D. I just started that channel. You can DM me on that channel. You can follow that channel. If you found this video helpful, can you please do me the biggest favor ever and share it with your friends? Subscribe, like, comment, let me know what you think. How are you feeling about 2026? I'm super excited. Even though it's the year 7 for me, I definitely feel like this like fire and this passion and this energy like coursing through me. So I am really looking forward to hopefully working with some of you, hopefully inspiring some of you, and let's like grow and be our best selves together. All right, everybody. Peace.